To make the gulab jamuns, we are not going to use any milk powder. We are making this with leftover bread. So first I'm going to make the chashni. I'm heating 2 cups of water, and to this I'm going to add 3/4 cup of powdered sugar. You can also use granulated sugar. I had powdered sugar, so I'll be using that. Mix this well to remove any lumps. And then to flavor, I'm going to add some elaichi to this. 3 to 4 pods of elaichi or elaichi powder, whatever you have at hand is enough. And I'm also going to add some saffron to this. I have not soaked the saffron. I'm adding it as it is to the syrup, so that when it boils, the syrup is automatically flavored. Give this a good mix. After adding these ingredients, we let it come to a boil for the flavors to infuse well. I'm going to add a few drops of rose water or gulab jal. You can also add some rose essence if you have, or skip it completely. We let the syrup boil only for 5 to 7 minutes till it's getting a little thicker, but we don't want it to be thick. Otherwise our gulab jamuns will be really hard, and we don't even want it to be like a string texture or a string consistency. Just a boiled sugar syrup would do. So turn off the flame once you're ready. Please ensure that you don't have a thick syrup, otherwise it will not enter your gulab jamuns and they will not be soft and juicy from inside. We need to make sure that our syrup is thin and it's well dissolved, well flavored. So it's very important that we switch off the flame at the right time and let it cool down. The syrup should be ready before the gulab jamuns are ready. So we are keeping the syrup aside to cool down, and now we'll start making the gulab jamun ball. To make that, I am reducing some milk. So I am taking 1 cup of regular milk and reducing it to half quantity. We are doing this to make our dough for the gulab jamun really soft and nice, because we are not using any milk powder or any kind of khoya or mawa. So now it has reduced to half. We'll be kneading our dough with this milk. I'm using 6 to 7 bread slices with the sides removed, and to this I'm going to add some maida. Along with maida, I'm adding baking powder. You can also add soda or skip it if you don't want very soft gulab jamuns. And using the milk that we have reduced, I will knead a soft dough. Please add little by little, as you might not be kneading all of it. Once you have added the milk, gradually knead it with your hands and then make sure that the bread absorbs the milk well. You can also let the bread absorb the milk for around 5 minutes and then knead the dough, but just make sure you don't add extra milk at once. So now we are going to knead it like we knead a normal roti dough, and I am mixing it and making it into a soft dough out of the bread that is left over. As we keep kneading it, you find that it's becoming a smooth and soft dough, and there should be no cracks in the dough. It's very important that we keep notice and take care of the small steps throughout this recipe. Once our dough is ready, I'm applying ghee on my palms, and then you can also use oil or ghee, and then we are going to make small round balls of this. I'm stuffing my gulab jamun ball with some nuts, so I'm using pistachio and almonds for the stuffing. You can also skip this if you want, and it's very essential that we roll it with ghee applied on our palms to make sure there are no cracks. Keep sealing the edges whenever you see that they're opening, and keep rolling them till the ball is absolutely smooth and has got no cracks at all. This may take some time, but it's really important for them to not break open when you're frying them, and also for them to be soft and nice and to absorb the sugar syrup well. So this is a very crucial step of making gulab jamun at home, whether you're using bread or not. Now we are going to similarly make all the gulab jamuns in the same way. Once you have shaped the entire dough into the gulab jamuns, we are going to heat some ghee for deep frying them. You can also use oil. Now this should be done at slow to medium flame. Make sure that your ghee or oil is not hot at all, otherwise the color will be brown from outside but your gulab jamun will be raw from inside, and it will not be an appealing sight at all. So it's very essential that you make sure that the gulab jamun is cooking from inside as well as getting brown on the outside. That is only possible if your flow is on medium. So keep checking the temperature using your hand from above the kadhai, and also keep turning the gulab jamuns using a ladle or a and keep the chashni ready on one side, warm, so that as soon as the gulab jamun is done, we will directly transfer them to our chashni. Now you can see how I am keeping on turning the gulab jamun and the flame is quite on medium. This is the color that we want. A little darker than this would also be fine. It should be nice and dark brown in color. As soon as they are done, directly empty this into your chashni bowl that we have prepared from before. Do not strain it on a paper and do not put it into very hot chashni or it might break. The chashni should just be warm. And now I'm going to show you how they look after dipping into the chashni. So this is what my gulab jamuns look like after placing them in the chashni, and we are going to let these be for 2 hours soaking in the chashni till we see them or cut them or even serve them to anyone. So let this be for around 2 to 3 hours so that they absorb the syrup well, and whenever you are ready to serve it hot with ice cream or just as it is, and make your quarantine even more special.